What if I told you that relying solely on your 401k for retirement could potentially cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if you've been a perfect saver? If you're like many of the couples we work with approaching retirement, you've been faithfully contributing to your 401k for decades, maybe even maxing it out every year. That discipline has likely served you well. You've built real wealth. But last month, David came to our office with a $1.8 million 401k balance. He was proud of his discipline, contributing faithfully for 30 years. But when we showed him what those 3 hidden problems could cost him in retirement, his face went white. After almost 50 years of helping couples transition into retirement, we've seen the same 3 problems trip up many of the most diligent savers. Now, the examples I share today use adjusted names and numbers to protect our clients' privacy, but every situation is based on real patterns from our practice. This is a massive issue affecting millions of Americans who built their entire retirement around their 401k. We're talking about people with 6 and even 7-figure balances who think they're in great shape headed into retirement. I'm going to break this down into 3 simple problems that anyone can understand using examples from couples just like you. These aren't the typical 401k complaints you hear everywhere else. These are the hidden downsides that only show up when you actually start living in retirement. And many financial content sources completely ignore them. And here's the best part. The strategies I'll show you are strategies that many successful retirees have been using for decades. Nothing risky, nothing complicated, just smart financial planning. Now, before you start panicking about your 401k, don't. I'm not saying it's bad. What I am saying is that by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why many of the most confident retirees we work with have other accounts besides their 401k. But first, let me show you problem number 1. Back to our first scenario. David's plan offered 20 investment options, and 12 of those were just target date funds for different retirement years. The remaining 8 were a handful of mutual funds and maybe 1 or 2 ETFs. Meanwhile, there are over 8,000 mutual funds and 3,000 ETFs available in the broader market, plus individual stocks, bonds, REITs, and other types of investments. He was building his entire retirement portfolio from a fraction of the investments that are actually available. Think about it this way. It's like being told you can only shop at one tiny corner store for the rest of your life when there's an entire shopping district just down the street. So what can you do to get access to more investment choices? Here's what may work when you need more options. If you're still working, consider opening an IRA alongside your 401k. This can give you access to virtually any investment you want. Imagine the confidence of knowing you're not limited to whatever your employer picked for you. If you're changing employers or looking to combine multiple accounts, you might consider doing it in an IRA instead of in your employer's 401k. If you're already retired, you may be able to roll a part of your 401k into an IRA to get more options. How many of you looked at your 401k options and thought, this is it? Let me know in the comments what investment you wish you had access to that's not in your plan. But the investment limitations are just the beginning. Here's the part that can really add up. When many retirees finally get a full breakdown of their 401k costs, they can't believe what they find. Not only do they have limited investment options, but these options come at a higher cost once you add the various fees. There are plan administration fees, investment management fees, record keeper fees, advisor fees, and even loan processing fees they've never used. And all these different charges can quietly chip away at returns year after year. And when they add them all up, the total is often significantly higher than what they could pay for the same investments outside their 401k. Here's what many people don't realize. You're essentially paying for the convenience of having your employer offer you a 401k plan. And sometimes that convenience can come at a premium. Now, if you want to take control of these costs, here's where you can start. Request a detailed fee disclosure from your HR department. You have the right to know exactly what you're paying. Then compare these costs to what you'd pay for similar investments in an IRA or in a taxable account. If you're changing employers or looking to combine multiple accounts, you might consider doing it in an IRA instead of in your employer's 401k, where you may have more control over the costs. Now here's the big one that can catch many couples completely off guard. In our example scenario, David needed $80,000 to remodel his kitchen in his second year of retirement. Since all of his money was in his 401k, that entire $80,000 came out as taxable income. This is the type of situation that could push someone into a higher tax bracket, make Social Security benefits taxable for the first time, and could trigger Medicare surcharges that might add $2,000 to annual premiums. What should be a simple kitchen renovation could end up costing thousands in extra taxes and fees, additional costs that could potentially be avoided with better planning. What we've learned is that when your retirement income comes from the same exact tax bucket, you can have zero flexibility. You can't strategically withdraw from different account types to manage your tax bill. The beautiful thing is, once you understand this, you're already way ahead of many retirees who haven't figured this out. And the good news is, you can start building tax flexibility right now. And let me show you exactly how many of the smartest couples we work with do this. They spread their tax savings across 3 different buckets. You've got your tax-deferred bucket, that's your 401k and traditional IRA. Then you have your tax-free bucket, that's your Roth IRA and your Roth 401k. And finally, your taxable bucket, that's your regular investment accounts. Here's how a couple could split their $50,000 in annual savings. They save $10,000 to get the full employer match in their 401k, contributed the maximum $8,000 annual contribution to their Roth IRA, and put the remaining $32,000 into their taxable account for maximum flexibility. This way, when they retire, they can pull from whichever bucket may give them the best tax outcome in any given year, potentially giving them greater control over their financial future. If this 3-bucket strategy makes sense to you, share this video with someone else who's been putting all their eggs in the 401k basket. Look, I don't want you to walk away from this video feeling defeated. Your 401k is still a powerful tool, but it often works best as part of a broader strategy. Here's what we often recommend to couples like you. Step 1, maximize your employer match. That's free money you typically can't get anywhere else. Step 2, consider splitting additional contributions between your 401k and other accounts like IRAs or Roth IRAs. If you're changing employers or looking to combine multiple accounts, you might consider doing it in an IRA instead of in your employer's 401k for more investment options and potentially lower costs. Step 3, as you get closer to retirement, start building a tax-diversified withdrawal strategy using multiple account types. This can potentially give you the freedom to enjoy retirement without constantly worrying about your next tax bill. The goal is not to abandon your 401k. It's to complement it with other tools that may give you more options, lower costs, and greater tax flexibility in retirement. What we've learned after almost 50 years of helping couples is that retirement planning isn't just about accumulating the biggest possible number in one account. It's about building a system that may give you flexibility to help keep your costs low and, most importantly, give you the confidence to truly enjoy what you've worked so hard to build. Your 401k can be part of that system, but it shouldn't be the entire system. Now, if you're wondering about Roth conversions and whether you should be moving some of that 401k money into tax-free accounts, there's a specific formula we use to determine exactly how much to convert each year without pushing you into a higher tax bracket. I walk through that calculation step by step in this video right here. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.